Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Kamau and I am continuing our game This or That. This is actually part 11. So we are at 11 parts. Wow, we've come a long way. As usual, I'm going to be going through a list of 12 pairs of words, and I'm going to be telling you which I prefer. That's as simple as it is, and I want you to tell me which you prefer, right? So it's this or that. The first pair, man in uniform or not. I'm definitely going for the uniform. I love to see a man in uniform, you know, whether it's the armed forces, you know, army, navy, constabulary, or you know, like a pilot. I just love to see men in uniform. It just gives this sense of authority, and also that he's disciplined. I know it doesn't necessarily mean that, but you know, we just associate these things with the uniform, because especially with the armed forces, you know, they have to go through rigorous training. So it's a good look. I'm scared of the armed forces, by the way. If I'm walking on the street and I see a policeman or a soldier, I'm crossing the road, I'm deathly scared. Not just with all that's been going on, you know, with police brutality and stuff like that, but I think I have a mistrust of policemen and soldiers. I'm not sure where it started, but as far as I can remember, I've had that mistrust of them. And so I admire them from afar. I like to look at them, but I don't think I would be involved with, actually in a relationship with a policeman or a soldier. I don't know, but I like to look at them. Definitely love to look at them. Number 2, natural hair or processed hair. No, I'm definitely going with natural hair. My hair has never been processed, except like when I was about 10 or 11, you know, they would use the press iron, that's what they call it. The iron, and they would press your hair, and it would be so long, because you know, they're straightening all the so-called kinks out of your hair. So it would be so long, and I'd be walking around for days with this long hair, and then you know, it would wear out, especially after you wash it. So, but I love the texture of natural hair. I love the look, the feel, and the versatility of natural hair. So I'm going with that. Definitely, I love hair. I love hair in general. I love body hair too, especially on men. Very sexy here on the chest and Number 3, children. Should you give them allowance or not? I'm going with allowance. I think yes, you can give them allowance, especially in the holidays when they do have their little pocket money. But they should not feel entitled to it. That's where I would have an issue. Some children will get to the point where they feel like they are entitled to it, you know, like their salary. And they will be reminding you that payday coming up, you know, that them kind of ways. You have children who will telling you, next week is payday, right? Out of order. So I have no issue with giving them an allowance. If you're not able to be consistent with it, they should not have an issue. That's my problem. It should not be a demand, and they feel like they're on your payroll, and if you don't give them, they're going to the union, that kind of thing. Number 4, where do you prefer to sleep? The corner of the bed or the edge? I don't mind the corner, but I think I prefer the edge, because you see, I'm a busybody, and if when I'm on the bed, I'm gonna have a million other things to come back off the bed to do. I'm gonna get inspired. I'm gonna need to go jot down something. I'm gonna need to pee, I'm gonna need to do all kind of things, and it's a hassle to be crawling over people, you know. I mean, if it's a child on the bed, you know, definitely you have to be at the edge, but I'm going with the edge. I don't like the corner. Well, no, sorry, I don't mind the corner, but I prefer the edge. Number 5, do you wear shoes in the house or no? For no. I don't think you should wear your outside shoes in the house. The only time I'll allow is if it's a visitor who isn't really family. You know, it's kind of awkward to tell them to take off their shoes. Although I would probably do that, but I would allow it depending on who it is. You know, if the Prime Minister visits, I'm not going to ask him to take off his shoes. Yeah, but I think you should have, you know, like on the veranda, you should have a little place or a little stack where you put your outside shoes. When you come off the road, you put it there. I don't think you should be trudging the dirt and the germs and everything into the house. So definitely no shoes in the house. Number 6, interviews. Do you prefer them to be scripted or extemporaneous? Extemporaneous, big word. I prefer extemporaneous. I like just speaking, you know, ad hoc. And I think I'm articulate enough to manage that. I can handle myself. However, like in a case like this, like my YouTube videos now, I have notes that I look at, but this is just to make sure that I don't miss anything. I don't want to end the video and then I say, oh my God, I forgot to talk about this, I forgot to talk about that, right? So for that reason, I will have my notes that you see me checking from time to time, which yeah, that's good because I don't want to leave out anything important. But if it's an interview, like I'm being interviewed for television or for an article, I'll just speak. I can manage, I can handle myself with that. Number 7, there's a fight. You know, when there's a fight and everybody fight, and everybody's running in that direction. So do you part it or do you depart from it? I'll more go with depart from it. I don't like to get mixed up in cascas. And you know, it's very risky to be parting fight. People have died trying to part fights that, you know, that they had nothing to do with. People have died parting fights that they had nothing to do with. So it's risky, definitely risky, and I would consider also who is fighting. You know, if it's children fighting, sure, I'll part them. Women fighting, I might part them, depending too on if they have weapons too, and what time of day or night, and a lot of things taken into consideration. Where am I? You know, if I'm in the inner city and you know these women, yeah, I might get hit trying to part. Men, definitely I'm not parting. Not parting a fight between men. Unless it's my son you're trying to fight, then you're going to have to fight me and my son. Yeah, so that's it. Number 8, New Year's resolutions. Do you make them and break them, or do you set them and go get them? I set them and I go get them. I'm a firm believer in resolutions, plans, affirmation, vision board, all of that stuff. I am very revved up at not just the new year, but particularly at the beginning of the year. Very revved up. I have my plans, I have my goals set out, and I love to be checking. That's me, very much into that. So I'm going with set them and go get them. Set them and go get them. Number 9, for children, do they have a strict bedtime or not? I'm going with not. When they were younger, I used to, not even when they were, not so much, but like when school is going on, then I would say 9 o'clock, you know, you should be in bed to make sure you're rested. But as they have become older, you know, they really, I allow them to get into their natural groove. As long as I see where they're managing their time and they're able to wake up when it's time to wake up and do what they're required to do. In the summer or on holiday, other holidays, I just let them, they're free range. I have free range children, see? So actually they put me to bed and then they're up, because they tend to be up all through the night during the summer. And I'll get my sleep and then I wake up back 2 or 3 o'clock and they're up. And then they will sleep throughout the day. So I find that they like that flow during the summer and I just let them be. I don't insist. But back to school, then for the younger ones, I would say definitely by 9:30, you should be in bed to make sure that you're rested. Number 10, television at night. Do you watch the TV or is it TV watching you? Now we all grew up with these, some family members who the TV watched them, but you couldn't turn it off, because the minute you go to turn it off, they'll snap up and they'll say, oh no, I was watching it. So have you become that family member where you start a movie and you're riled up and you're into it, and then like 10 minutes in, the movie is watching you? Well, I think I can set up to watch a show. I'm not really a TV person nowadays. My time is spent doing other things, like I'm more on YouTube or reading or writing or something. But there are shows that I like, there are series that I like, you know, like Sherlock and House and Monk, you know, those eccentric fellas. I'm into the eccentric, Don Quixote and those people. And I love documentaries. I love watching court shows that, you know, where people are in real courts. I learn a lot from those. I love watching top 10 countdowns, that kind of thing. So I'll set up and I'll watch. I can hold my ground, hello. I can hold my ground. I can set up like everybody. Alright, next, number 11, visitors. Are they allowed to sit on your bed or not? I mean, I don't really have that strict policy about people sitting on my bed. I would say if you can make it to the front door, you can more than likely sit on the bed. If you can make it past the front door, unless you're a repairman and you come to fix something in the house, you know, electrician, plumber, that's different. But typically speaking, if you're welcome into my house past the front door and you get into my bedroom, you can sit on the bed. I don't know. I've heard people say they have strict policy, no sitting on my bed. I don't know. I don't think I have that strict policy. And if I come to your house, I'm gonna sit on your bed. If I get into the bedroom, I'm gonna sit on the bed, unless you tell me not to sit on your bed. So, number 12, photos. Do you put them in albums or you frame them? I believe photos should be framed. I don't think photos belong in albums, because then you have to wait on somebody to come and open them, you know, or you have to go remember and open. I think photos should be framed. I mean, you're probably going to have too many and you can't practically frame all of them, so some are going to end up in the album. But I'm all for putting photos up for you to see them, enlarging some of them, you know, the special ones, you blow them up and you frame them. I'm a very nostalgic person, very sentimental person. I have downloaded hundreds of photos that show life in Jamaica, you know, growing up, from games to the buses to the things we used to use. Hundreds of photos I have, and I make a kind of collage, frame them, put them up, and I use them to inspire me when I'm writing my books, particularly those novels that reflect on my childhood. So photos are very important to me. I got that from my mom. She's a photo addict. I got that from her. I love pictures, and I think you should put them up, you know. I even do that in the school, my school. I take pictures of my students and I put them up so that I can look at them. Alright, so let me run down the list, because you need to tell me now what you prefer. So man in uniform or not, natural hair or processed hair, children, do you give them allowance or not, where on the bed do you prefer, the corner or the edge, shoes in the house or not, interview, scripted or extemporaneous, fight, do you depart from it or part it, New Year's resolutions, do you make them and break them or set them and go get them, children, do they have a strict bedtime or not, television at night, are you watching the TV or is the TV watching you, visitors, can they sit on your bed or not, and photos, do you put them in albums or do you frame them? I guess most people do both, but tell me which you prefer. So that's the list, and I'm really anticipating your responses. I don't want to play this game by myself, so let me know in the comments what your choices are, and I will see you next time. Look out for part 12. You know there is going to be a part 12. This game will not end for now.